How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the ICPL. This is going to be our Week 2 team builder here. It's going to be the Houston Dracos up against D-Dark Saber, the coach of the Hellflame Brigade. My name is Broken Pinky. You guys should know that already. You see that on the channel title. First, to get something out of the way real quick, I do want to say I was not super proud of the quality of the recording I did for Week 1. So for Week 2 and for the weeks going forth until I, get more used to YouTube, we're going to do team builders in one video and the battle in another instead of trying to just, stack them on top of each other, just to make things a little bit easier for me, because to be honest, I am very, very dumb. Very, very dumb. So anywhere where I can make a mistake, I will make a mistake, and that obviously came true. When editing, quality just wasn't quite to the standards I wanted. It was just kind of shaky all around. So let's get right into it. This is going to be just the team builder portion. Last week we took our we took a win over Dean Maka, the coach of the Olympus Mons. So that's why at the bottom of your screen it says that we are 1-0. Same thing with the Hellflame Brigade. They actually won their first week. I think Blastoise set up a shell smash and got like 5 kills. So definitely, I'd imagine D-Dark Saber's feeling pretty high off that Blastoise. But why talk about Mons when you can see them? Let's look at this matchup here. Let's look at all these Pokemon here. My squad on the left, my opponent's squad on the right. And my opponent has a very scary squad. To put it in a few words, this team is set up. All these Pokemon set up, sweep, do big damage, break. It's going to be very hard for me to stop, but let's just go at it one by one. Blaziken, definitely the scariest Pokemon on this team. It's been banned to Ubers 3 gens straight in gens 5, 6, and 7. Just because it's ridiculous how well it can set up. Swords Dance plus Speed Boost is just a wild combination. It's, fast enough, after, getting a Speed Boost, it's pretty much faster than everything on my team. And 120 attack, clicking, +2, flare blitzes, close combats, knockoffs. Just does unreal damage. Blaziken's very, very scary. Gliscor, lost access to Roost, but it still has access to Poison Heal. Losing Roost sucks for this thing. Sucks a lot more for my Gligar, though. Which I'm a little salty about, to be honest. But like Gligar, I was having Gligar up in the draft breakdown. And everything it can do, Gliscor does better. Which, is part of why Gliscor is like 5 times the price. But yeah, it has good enough recovery with Poison Heal. All 3 hazards in Stealth Rocks, Spikes, and Toxic Spikes. No webs, of course, but, that'd be a little too broken. Knockoff and U-Turn are phenomenal supporting moves. It has the rare access to Toxic, which, got its distribution cut. And Earthquake is a very strong, reliable stab. Not to mention, this thing can set up on its own. Getting both Swords Dance and Rock Polish. And, Earthquake Facade, Dual Wing Beat. Even, stuff like Crab Hammer. Just all hit pretty dang hard. So, would not be surprised to see that from Gliscor. Speaking of supportive mons that can set up a lot of hazards and also set up and sweep that cannot recover, there's Mew. Kind of funny how much they overlap nowadays. But yeah, Mew also lost access to Roost. It has no more, reliable recovery. So it's not as good of a defensive Pokemon, but it is a very good supportive Pokemon. Stealth Rock Spikes, Toxic Spikes, also gets access to Thunder Wave, gets U-Turn like Gliscor, and it gets Reflect and Light Screen. So we do have to watch out for dual screens, especially with the light sets. But Mew gets access to everything. Also gets access to even more setup options, more moves, Nasty Plot, Swords Dance, Bulk Up, Agility, Dragon Dance. It just gets so many moves. So many moves. It's so hard to pin Mew down. The best way you can do it is Pray. Pray and have a Dark type. And my Dark type is not phenomenal in this matchup. So I'm going to be doing a lot of the former. Volcarona, scary setup sweeper. Alder had it as a champion as his signature Pokemon when he was champion for a reason. Very scary. You think of Quiver Dance? Personally, I think of Volcarona. It's like Latios, and it's very emblematic of its move. Unlike the Pokemon we talked about before, it gets reliable recovery in Morning Sun, so it's a very it's a threat with a lot of longevity. Also gets access to Will-O-Wisp, which would just be a very annoying support Pokemon. The right Volcarona can just kind of boost through all of its problems, to be honest. It's very scary in that regard. But Volcarona, the big way you deal with it is you have to deal with it early before it sets up, or you have to be like me and have a Terra Normal Lucario that has extreme speed that can hopefully pick it off. Hopefully. Oh my god, I hope it can. Superior is a pretty unassuming Pokemon nowadays, now that it's lost access to hidden power. But looking at my team, it's actually pretty scary. Nothing on my squad really wants to take a glare. That paralysis really sucks. Leaf Storm is a really good way of setting up. Dragon Pulse is good for neutral coverage for most of my team. Even though I have 2 steel types, and my opponent has 2 fire types and a ground type that really want to take advantage of that, of those weaknesses. And Superior, of course, gets access to Substitute and Leech Seed to make a very annoying Subseed set, as well as Knockoff. It's just a very, very annoying Pokemon to deal with, and it can hit very, very hard very quickly, while also having surprisingly solid bulk. Blastoise is a very, very versatile Pokemon, and by versatile, I mean it does 2 things. It either goes hard on the defense, very good physical bulk, solid special bulk as well, but usually you run physical bulk to take advantage of body press. I think it's still a Scald, I'm not 100% sure. Gets Rapid Spin though, one of the few spinners in the format that's actually pretty solid. I believe it also gets Flip Turn and Dragon Tail, just to shuffle around its own teammates or the enemy team. But the other thing it does is it clicks Shell Smash, and it clicks it really darn well. It can take advantage of either this physical or the special side, and it can set up Shell Smash pretty safely with really good bulk. On the special side, of course, we have Hydro Pump, Water Spout, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, just a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And on the special side, or on the physical side, sorry, you get Wave Crash, which, Blastoise gets for some reason, because making it more of a threat, why not? So not only does it set up really well, but I have to predict what way it's setting up, and if I predict wrong, I lose a Pokemon, and potentially the game, because of how scary this team is. This team is terrifying. I don't know if I've said that yet. This team is terrifying. So I got my work cut out for me. D-Dark Saber won week 1 for a reason. Mimikyu, speaking of setup, gets a free Swords Dance, because why not? Its ability to disguise just lets it do that. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Mimikyu. It's usually good for going 1-for-1, but it doesn't do much beyond that. Swords Dance, Play Rough, Shadow Ball, or Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, Drain Punch. Those are the main moves you're going to see on Mimikyu. Occasionally something like Will-O-Wisp or Sub or even Trick Room, but I don't think D-Dark Saber is going to run any of that. I think it's just going to be Swords Dance Mimikyu, but it doesn't have the best matchup in my squad. Stuff like Bundle, Staraptor, and Lucario and Copperajah can take it on pretty well. So we'll just have to see. Lastly are the Terra Captains. And to be quite honest, I don't think D-Dark Saber did that phenomenal of a job picking Terra Captains. Just to be brutally honest. I know that might be a little rude, but I look at my 2 Terra Captains, I think I did an amazing job. D-Dark Saber, they're solid. I just think the types in the Pokemon themselves aren't, as good as they could be. Just a little bit of advice, I guess. Dragalge can terrestrialize into a Poison, Dark, or Dragon type. Terra Dark is definitely the scariest of the 3. And by scariest, I mean the only real viable option in my opinion, because this team does not have a good switch into Psychic type attacks other than Mew, and Terra Dark Dragalge gives you that. This also is a pretty strong Pokemon with adaptability, dropping Dracos, Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, Flip Turn is a good momentum move, and it gets good coverage and stuff like Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, and Surf. And last up, Blissey, definitely beyond her glory days. She's not doing so hot in Gen 9. Can translate into a normal Ghost or Poison type, but I mean, it can be pretty annoying with stuff like Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave, Seismic Toss, Heal Bell, or Aromatherapy to get soft boiled and stuff. But it's very passive. Very, very passive. It's very hard for it to do much damage, and Taunt and Encore are on a lot of good Pokemon. So it's very hard for Blissey, to overcome that. It's very hard. So if I had to pick 6 I think are coming, I think for sure Gliscor, Mew, Superior, and Blastoise are coming. I think one of Blaziken and Volcarona are coming. And then the last slot is probably going to be either Mimikyu or Dragalge. I don't think Blissey comes. I think Blaziken is more likely than Volcarona. I don't think you'd bring both of the fire types, because I have, Bundle, which is very strong. But yeah, not a whole lot of, options. Obviously 9 Pokemon versus my 11. So it's kind of easy for me to guess, but I think Gliscor, Mew, Superior, and Blastoise come 100%. They all have such a good matchup into me. And speaking of matchup, to be honest, I got a lot of good Pokemon into D-Dark Saber. It was... People will know. I'm so sorry to everyone who I gave absolute hell while building, but... Oh my god, it was so hard to pick 6. Because basically, I have 8 Pokemon that are really good here. I have Latios, Lucario, Iron Bundle, Cinderace, Screamtail, Staraptor, Copperajah, and Gligar, which are all phenomenal here. All phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. And I had to pick 6. And it's very hard to pick 6 out of, 8 great Pokemon, all of which, provide niches that can't necessarily be filled by others. So like without Latios, I lose my best check to Blaziken. Without Lucario, I lose my best priority. Without Bundle and Cinderace, I lose, you know, my best momentum core. Without Screamtail, I can't beat setup as well. Without Staraptor, I can't break as well. Without Copperajah, I struggle with Superior. Without Gligar, I struggle with Blaziken. So very, very hard. But I did the best I could. And these are the 6 that are gonna take me to victory or die trying. First off, Mr. Steelio Girl, after a great performance week 1 in the lead slot, is going right back where he belongs. Freeze Dry, Flip Turn, Hydro Pump, and Taunt. Speed enough for the Superior. Everything else is going to be modest into special attack. This Pokemon hits incredibly, incredibly hard. Freeze Dry and Hydro Pump is so hard to switch into, especially with modest nature. And with this being in, you know, my lead, I think 9 times out of 10 it's going to be lead Mew. The other time is going to be lead Gliscor. With Taunt, I beat lead Mew most of the time, and I hit it with Hydro Pump, which is just ginormous damage. And with lead Gliscor, I don't think I need to explain why I beat lead Gliscor. I think it's pretty obvious. If you need some clarification, Freeze Dry, Hydro Pump. It's that simple. And this thing is just faster than everything on the team unboosted, and it hits them all really hard. Do have to be worth noting, versus stuff like Blaziken and Volcarona, Hydro Pump has a 20% chance to miss, Freeze Dry doesn't kill, Flip Turn doesn't kill, so I have to be really, really careful with positioning this thing around those things. But Taunt is obviously a great move to click. Less so versus Blaziken, because it's probably going to click like Protect or Swords Dance and just be really annoying. In general, I think in the battle itself, I'm going to value Chip over Taunt for either of those, but Taunt is mostly just there for the Mew. Maybe for the Blastoise, probably not. Maybe for the Volcarona, probably not. But mostly just there for the Mew. But Bundle, just such a strong pivot, such a strong Pokemon. I already don't regret taking it. I was kind of advised against it briefly, but I really believe in this thing, and I'm glad my belief's been paying off. So hopefully, Bundle puts in a lot more work. Speaking of a Pokemon I want to put in work, Cinderace, after not even leaving its Pokeball last week, hopefully he's going to do something this game. Also with Heavy Duty Boots, with Libero, Pyro Ball, U-Turn, Court Change, and Sucker Punch. So Court Change is the big thing. The whole point of this thing is Court Change. If Mew sets up Reflecting Light Screen, if, you know, Stealth Rock, Spike, Toxic Spike is on my side, I don't want it on my side. I don't want to deal with it. Have it. It's all yours, bro. It's all yours, broski. I don't want it. You can have it. But I can just, with Court Change, I can take the dual screens for myself. I can give them their hazards, which they want to set. And that just makes Cinderace a real annoying piece of crap to deal with. And with Pyro Ball, it hits a lot of stuff with very hard neutral fire damage. U-Turn is great for pivoting, and Sucker Punch is there, you know, as a last resort if like Blastoise sets up a Shell Smash and gets out of hand, or Mew sets up Agility and gets out of hand. Sucker Punch is great for those two Pokemon. I do struggle to hit Blaziken. I really thought about, you know, Zen Headbutt on this thing as a move, but I just didn't like it as much as everything else. So Blaziken is a little bit scary, but we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that it works out. Next up, coming off the bench, we got our Flying type Phenom. Meh, I said that there is no Brave Bird resist. Brave Bird with Choice Band, Reckless Brave Bird, 2 KOs Gliscor. With Poison Heal, it does so much damage. It does like 60%, and then Poison Heal doesn't heal it enough, and it decides to another. It's insane damage, insane damage. U-Turn, Endeavor, Quick Attack. I mean, they're good moves, but to be honest, I'm only clicking Brave Bird. Endeavor is just there if I'm ever like 10 HP or something after all the Brave Bird recoil and Stealth Rock damage, and I want to get a bunch of damage off on something, I click Endeavor. But 9 times out of 10, Brave Bird is killing something. Like, the game plan is lead, you know, bundle into Mew, taunt it, force it to switch out, whatever, and then I just flip turn and I bring in Staraptor for free, and I click Brave Bird and I get a kill. It's really not that complicated. But this thing OHKOs so much. It, you know, one-shots, you know, one-shots Blastoise before it sets up, which is so insane. It does like 111 minimum to like offensive Blastoise. Obviously, Blaziken, Volcarona Superior, they get blown back. Like I said, 2 shots Gliscor, 2 shots to Mew very reliably. Destroys Blissey, destroys Trigalgy. And it kills Mimikyu while also being faster. So it's faster than Mimikyu, and it's immune to Shadow Sneak, and it one-shots it with Brave Bird, which makes this a really good Mimikyu counter, surprisingly. So if Mimikyu ever gets out of hand and Staraptor's still alive, I can just send it at it and just destroy it. Next up, our other flying type, we got Lil Glizzy coming off the bench. Max HP, max defense with the Eviolite. This is our Blaziken answer. It's also going to be Terra Water. I don't expect them even to terrestrialize this. This is not my primary Terra captain, which is a bit of a spoiler. But the Terra type is there as a last, ditch effort to deal with that Blaziken. Because Blaziken was look at this thing, click Flare Blitz, but a Terra Water, hit the reverse, and I now resist it, and Earthquake is going to do a ton of damage. It's like 80% to Blaziken. Stealth Rock, U-turn, and Knockoff are the other 3 moves, because I really enjoy, having Stealth Rock on the enemy side of the field is really nice for me. So if I can find a turn to click Stealth Rock that doesn't lose too much momentum, I will. And then U-turn and Knockoff are just great supportive moves that are very annoying to deal with. And this Pokemon is just very, very bulky. It takes pretty much all physical hits very well, and it's a great pivot. So nothing too complicated. Little Glizzy. I'm going to make my 3 points matter as much as possible because, my goodness, this thing was underpriced, and I plan on showing it. Next up, Assault Vest, Copper Raja, Iron Trash. Had that MVP award in that last week, so it's looking to make a run back on that performance. Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Rock Blast, Supercell Slam. Once again, Assault Vest, Heavy Metal. Very, very similar set to last time in terms of the moves, but the EVs are radically different. It has enough physical defense to live +2, so after a Sword Dance, Life Orb, Mimikyu, Drain Punch after Stealth Rock. So it's complicated, but what that basically means is that if Mimikyu ever sets up a Swords Dance and gets out of hand, I bring in Copper Raja. If the disguise is broken, Heavy Slam just smokes it, just destroys it. Earthquake is there to hit the Dragalge and the Blaziken pretty hard. Rock Blast is there to hit the Volcarona hard and to break its substitutes. Supercell Slam does like 70% to Blastoise, does great damage. And then the Special Bulk is there, so I live, I think it's Life Orb, Modest, Hydro Pump for Blastoise after a Shell Smash, and +1 Quiver Dance boosted Fiery Dance from Volcarona. So that's what the Special Bulk is there, and the rest is just dumb to do attack with an Adamant Nature. So Copper Raja, also should mention, this is my superior answer. This is the best thing I have for superior. Doesn't mind getting paralyzed. Heavy Slam does 70% to it. If it's bulky, it's still a 2-shot. Heavy Slam does just massive damage to it, and I can live all hits because my Assault Vest and my Natural Bulk makes me just eat up Leaf Storms for breakfast, and I just hit it real hard. So that is Copper Raja for you. And last up, I alluded to it briefly earlier. We got Choice Band, Terra Normal, Adamant, Extreme Speed Lucario. This is the cleanup crew. The whole point of the other 5 Pokemon, Iron Bundle, Cinderace, Staraptor, Lil Glizzy, and Copper Raja. Or I guess Mr. Steal Your Girl, Zekrom Kick, Mech, Lil Glizzy, Iron Trash. If I want to use proper nomenclature. It's bring colon 3 in at the end of the game, click Extreme Speed, click Terra Normal, and just wipe it away. Wipe it all away. EVs are interesting. So the HP and physical defense is to live 2 Earthquakes from Gliscor after I Terrastallize, and to live 1 Earthquake from Gliscor before I Terrastallize, just so I can hit it up with a very strong Ice Punch. Very, very strong Ice Punch. The Special Bulk is there to live, I think it's Life Orb, Hydro Pump from Blastoise before it clicks Shell Smash, just because I'm not running a whole lot of speed. So I need, the Bulk to live a hit, just in case I get outsped by the Blastoise and it doesn't want to click Shell Smash in front of me. Because close combat does big damage into it. So we are running double Choice Band, but I just think that it's worth it for Lucario with that bulk. And then the speed, the reason I'm running so little speed is because versus stuff like Blastoise and Blaziken that I would naturally outspeed, I would want to click E-Speed into them anyway, because Blaziken is going to set up, speed boost with Protect and stuff, and Blastoise is going to set up a Shell Smash. So I'd rather just put that extra into attack, be able to run Adamant Nature, and just hit as hard as possible. Because with Light Chip, I killed Blaziken, Superior, Volcarona, and Blastoise. And then Ice Punch and Crunch lets me hit the Gliscor and the Mew respectively. I did really want to run Bullet Punch. I was so tempted to run Bullet Punch for Crunch to hit that Mimikyu, but ultimately I went with Crunch because I was comfortable enough with my Mimikyu matchup. So here's the squad of 6, all with the EVs laid out in front of you, all with the Terra types. Obviously nothing can Terrastallize except for Lil Glizzy and Lucario. But yeah, this is the squad. It's pretty simple. I did, get a little bit lost with the EVs. But I think this squad is going to be really, really solid into most of what Darksaber is going to bring. So it really is just going to come down to playing my cards right, because I think I have all the pieces to win. Just have to play them properly. Little thing to note, bundle has 3 attack IVs. Shoutouts again to Adamy for getting me these Pokemon. He catches them in the wild. Couldn't find a 0 attack IV bundle. And I said, bro, that don't matter. It really don't matter. Because, like, the only way it matters is for foul play and if I hit myself in confusion. I don't think either of those are happening in this game. And if they do, oh well, it's on me anyway for not getting the Pokemon myself. So, you know how it is. But with that being said, that is going to be the squad we're bringing versus Darksaber. I should get this up pretty soon. So, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for the battle. It's going to come in a few days. I'm Broken Pinky, coach of your Houston Dracos. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.